Oh, that is not the right place for me. Well, good evening and welcome to the show. Not to the live version. Oh, let me see. There we go. That was a beautiful shot of my arm to begin the show. Welcome and hello, everyone, to the Hemingway Jones live fountain pen show and a very special episode as I go through a year in fountain pens. So I just thought it'd be a lot of fun to just take you on a tour of those fountain pens that inspired me this year, that changed the channel a bit for me and, in different ways affected me and helped to keep me inspired. Perhaps they'll do the same for you. So very, very shortly, we're going to just go through a whole bunch of pens and talk about that, how each of them affected me. So I would also like to say to everyone, Happy Christmas and Merry New Year, because this is the final show of the year. So I am hoping for love, peace, and togetherness for you and your families this very special time of year. One of my favorite times of the year. And, I can't wait to share it with my daughter, my family. It's going to be a very, very special Christmas. So it should be a lot of fun. The live show will return in January, probably the second week. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. I will put up one show in the interim that'll be something where you guys can get together and have a chat. I taped it and I will put it up. I am really proud of it. So I think you'll enjoy that. It's on a Mont Blanc pen, so I think you'll like it. So anyway, nice to see everyone here, all the members and everything else. J.R. Diaz asked if my sweatshirt is for Tim, which is my actual name. No, it's actually the New York Times. It's a New York Times sweatshirt. So I am luxuriating in comfort this evening. So anyway, there you have it. So some fun things coming up on the channel. The next video coming out is the 5 most snob-proof fountain pens. It's a list. You guys love my lists. This one's a blast. It's all those, those pen aficionados. We don't know anyone like that looks down their nose at certain fountain pens. Well, these 5 fountain pens are completely insulated from any of that, inoculated from snobbery and from high-hattedness, as people once said back in the 30s and 40s. So it is the top 5 snob-proof fountain pens. Should be super fun. I think you'll love it. Thank you for all of you who watched last week's video on the, it's not the John Wick fountain pen, but that's how I think of it, but it's on the Viper. Just a pen I'll show again tonight. And it's by Diplomat. And I had a blast making, a literal blast. There's blast in the video. And I might talk a little bit about the video and some of the fun stuff I did and why. But every once in a while I need to have fun. So I did. So there we have it. Okay, guys, I do want to show you something that did come in the studio. I hope you'll appreciate this. And it ties in with the Diplomat Viper. Let me see if I can pull myself up too. Hello, there I am. Okay, so you may have noticed in the Diplomat Viper, I had an Emerson CQC fountain pen. An Emerson CQC pocket knife. Well, not quite a pocket knife. It's almost like a hand sword. Well, that knife is so big, and I really don't allow it to leave the house. So I thought I'd go over to Emerson's site and see what they have to offer now. And I ended up buying a modern CQC from Emerson. And it's smaller. So let's see what it's like. Okay. And if you're not a pocket knife person, don't worry. I won't spend too much time on this. Wow, this is fun. So stickers. I love stickers. This is great. Proudly not made in China. Emerson Knives USA. I like a pugnacious sticker now and then. So good for them. This is in reaction to a lot of brands, a lot of heritage brands. I'm guessing this is in reaction to this. A lot of heritage brands moved overseas, their productions. So this is a modern CQC, and it's mini, and it has something called a thunderstorm finish. Ooh, wow. Groovy. Look at that. Look at these scales. Oh my, I've never felt scales like this. I need to do a little research on this. These scales are amazing. They're so grippy. And then here we have a Tonto blade that's stubby. See, like I can actually carry this and use it if I have the heart to use it, because this is beautiful. Look at that. Ooh, slicey dicey. Look at that point. Beautiful Tonto. Beautiful edge on that. How it's just angled down. Totally flat here. And then totally angled down there. So gorgeous. Gorgeous finish. Made in the USA. Very high quality. Very beautiful, nice clip. So I'm really pleased about this. Very safe lock here in line. Sometimes these are a little tough to use, but that's kind of good because you're very safe. So there you have it. A new thing that came in the studio. So I thought you'd be interested in that, but I won't spend a lot of time on it. Just wanted you to see it because I have been inspired by pocket knives again. I'm actually thinking of doing, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I'm thinking of doing some pocket knife videos. I'm thinking it would be fun because I can do the background and the history and things like that. And I have written some scripts. You guys know I like to switch things up now and again. So a couple people I need to recognize. I'd like to recognize Rick Harsh with the $5 Canadian Super Chat. Really enjoying my Lami 2000. I have a medium nib on it and it flows smoothly. Rick Harsh, as I am apt to say in the comments, if you read my comments, I do try to respond to every comment. I certainly read them all. But I always say, you have chosen wisely. That's a brilliant pen. I wish you a lot of luck with it. I have a couple issues with it, but I still quite love it. I'm sure I'll have mine out before too long. So well done. I also like to recognize the Mighty Duke with a $10 super chat. Thank you. Helps keep the lights on. The lights are burning bright. Good evening, everyone from Auburn, Alabama. Good evening. Why this has my name under me? But thank you very much, both of you, for the generous super chat. I really appreciate it. It really does help to keep things rolling on this channel. So thank you very much. Wow, the chat is so busy tonight. Already 188 comments in the chat. We've only been on for a few minutes, for 10 minutes. I love you guys. Fantastic. And thanks for all the thumbs up. I see those flying by. That's appreciated too. It keeps the YouTube gods happy, which is fantastic. Fantastic, really. So, yeah, quite a year, guys. I'm going to get right into the main topic. I will invite you to please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. So if you would be generous enough to follow along, I would appreciate it very, very much. So please come on this journey with us. And if you want to join the channel as a member to support it even more, we do have membership available. There's a pen pal group for Cognoscenti and Illuminati members. We also did a Zoom meeting last Saturday where you can speak with me one-on-one if you like. Although mostly people just speak by themselves and I'm just hanging out too, having a blast. So consider becoming a member if you would. Ooh, I need to recognize Marcus Souza, one of my favorite people. Hello, Marcus. With a 20R. R is the currency. I'm not sure where that's from, but thank you. Good night, everyone, from nibs to blades today. Marcus, we do it all in this channel. I always say from the pen we can go anywhere and everywhere, and we do, and we will. I have some interesting scripts written for the new year on some neat pens, on some fantastic lists I think you guys will enjoy. There is one coming up that I think is such a good idea. I mean, I hate to be immodest, but I'm very, very proud of it. It concerns Mont Blanc. It's going to air in mid-January. I think you guys will really like it. And then there are a few other kind of peripheral stuff, some EDC things, journals, probably a couple of pocket knives I'll do, and then a couple more clothing items during the course of the year. So it should be a blast. Lots of different stuff. Very, very good. I also want to recognize David Pearsons. Hi, David. How are you? $5 super chat. Celebrating another pen acquisition. This has been a good month. This one is the Mont Blanc Solitaire Le Grand Silver Fibre Guilloche with a medium nib. David, my friend, you have chosen wisely. Well done. I still need to film. You remind me that I still need to film with my Around the World in 80 Days pen. I have an idea for a script. I want to tie in the book. I have the book. It's right here. I read it. This is delightful. I had a blast reading this book. And I want to speak about the character of Phileas Fogg and the pen. So that will come up probably February, March at this point. I'm very much behind, but I'm trying. So much to do. You know, tonight I found a fountain pen. I don't even know where it came from. I have a Pilot Elite. Not an E95S, but an actual Elite from the 70s in black. And it's in the package, and I don't know where it came from. I don't know. I think I might have bought it, but I never opened it. I just forgot about it. It's crazy. So much to do. Lady Manx with a $10 super chat. Hey, HJ, what? You better have plans for New Year's than doing It Must Be New Year's Somewhere. Hate to drive with the crazies late at night these days. Then hang out with you guys. Oh, do I have plans to hang out with you guys? Sure. Well, I am going to with my family. I don't like to drink large amounts. I'm not a teetotaler. I'm like a 1 or 2 glasses of wine guy at most. And I probably only do that maybe twice a month. So I will not be out amongst the crazies. I will be home with my family and my daughter and my mother-in-law, who is lovely, and joining us this year for the holidays, which is brilliant. Okay, so I've spoken long. Oh, I have one more thing to tell you. Then I'm going to get into the pens. Alexandra, Art Insanity, the most dangerous and controversial person on YouTube, has invited me to do her show tomorrow. So I think that show is live. I know she uses a lot of really bad language. No, I'm just kidding. She's like the nicest person, so a lot of this would be funny and absurd if you do follow her, and you should. She was on with me last week. We had a delightful conversation, and it looked like a lot of you did decide to go follow her fountain pen journey. So it'll be super, super duper fun. And there she is complaining in the comments. What are you doing, HJ? You're defaming me, she's saying. But I will be on tomorrow. It is live, right? Tomorrow? Yes, it is live at 8 p.m. Eastern. So anything can happen. Anything can happen, and probably will. I'm a loose cannon these days, guys. It's Christmas. I'm full of cheer and good tidings to you. Okay, let's talk about some fountain pens. What do you say? And let's begin strong. Why not? Why not? My first fountain pen that I will show you this evening that had an effect on me this year is, believe it or not, the Taylor Swift fountain pen. Yes, and why? Why was this important? Why did I cover it? Why did I do a video on it? Well, part of it was because I thought it would be super fun to bring something so kind of dissonant from the channel as Taylor Swift onto the channel. And also because I saw a lot of snobby comments about it. And although this is not one of the top 5 snob-proof fountain pens, it just really bothered me how people were excoriating this fountain pen when it was far more magnificent the fact that she had a fountain pen, that it would possibly introduce people to this world of ours. So I was so pleased by that I wanted to put my voice into the conversation. And as I think you all know, I have an opinion on everything, and it's usually a little different than the status quo and often is politely poised, but certainly slightly oriented to the controversial. So I was delighted to talk about this pen. I am happy I own it, and I had a blast making the video. It was one of the first times when I learned how to do things like layer some clips with Taylor on it and make a little bit more of sort of a modern look to a video with a little more interesting editing, which is just something I have been developing since, trying to make the editing a little bit more dynamic at times, but only if the video suits it. It doesn't make sense if the video doesn't call for it. In fact, I am doing something very, very difficult in my videos. It's very subtle. And that's when you'll see in some of my videos coming up, I'm not sure if any aired yet, where behind me there's all these emojis that come rising up. And that's kind of fun and something I learned how to do. So there we have it. JR Diaz says that I need to get Taylor on the show to get her to speak about it. You know, Taylor, I'm sure you're watching now. If you'd like to reach out to my producer, Timothy Steiner, he would be happy to put you on the air with me. So thank you, Taylor. We'd love to see you in the new year. So thank you. That should be super fun. All right, let's cover another pen, shall we? We shall. Join me, won't you? It's one of my favorite things to say. Join me, won't you? Okay, here's another pen. This was a fulfillment of a dream. Dreams are fun. Sometimes dreams become nightmares, but this one was Dreamy Dream. I don't know if you recognize this, but this is the Red Ripple Waterman 52 with a flex nib. Wow. Quite a nice pen. Not total wet noodle the way my 52.5 is, but flexy enough. Plenty flexy. Flexy sexy fountain pen. It's kind of interesting. It's a bit greenish. I'm not sure it comes across, but it's a bit green. So it's red and black, you know, ebonite, of course, but green. Makes it almost a Christmas pen in a way. But very lovely. Works fantastically. So I really kind of have a great trio of vintage Waterman pens. The 52.5, which frequently breaks. I don't know why, but it does. I get it fixed. It breaks again. Whoopsie. It's tiny. Maybe that has something to do with it. The Waterman 5, which is absolutely brilliant. Love that one. And then this, the Waterman 52 in Red Ripple. So I got this from Peyton Street Pens. They always do a fantastic job. They're really my go-to site. In fact, right now there is a 146 over there in barleycorn gold for $9.50 that I would buy if I wasn't on a pen hiatus because of the Wes Anderson fountain pen. Ooh, look, you could post this if you're an adamant poster. I do not post fountain pens these days. I can't believe I no longer post pens, but I don't. I was a posting proponent, a proponent of posting, but I have changed. Guess we can all change. But absolutely beautiful pen, so fun to write. This is one of my go-tos for correspondences. And anytime I write with a vintage fountain pen, I get this sense of magic of who was it that used this before I did and everything else. That is part of the enjoyment for me. I like the idea that this pen has lived many lives. It could have gone to many places, or it may have sat in a desk for 50 years. You never know, but it's super fun to just wonder. We'll stick it there in the Charles River for a minute. But boy, this pen, absolutely brilliant. One of my favorites. So I'm going to jump to one that we just showed. The Diplomat Viper. Wowee. I had a literal blast with this pen. It's supposed to be serpentine, and I get that. Oh, I love this cap. I get that it's supposed to be serpentine, but do you also see the associations I was making? Do you see why I brought in John Wick and all that? I have a blast watching those John Wick movies. I think they're a lot of fun. I don't take them literally. To me, they're sort of like dance choreography. It's sort of like watching an opera. I feel that way about kung fu movies. I'm a big fan of like the Five Deadly Venoms and Hero and all that. To me, they're operas. They're not meant to be taken literally. They're meant to give you a sense of catharsis and to kind of have this release and this fun excitement and action and adventure and all that. I really, really love it. I'm seeing a lot of love. Robin Pennell, a lot of love for the Viper. So I like its tactical aspect. I had a blast making that video. I thought it was, it's water. That's right. I cleaned this. I actually emptied it. I wrote so much with it that I emptied it. But I grabbed it off the kitchen counter before the show, and it's a little damp. I'm going to try to get a rag. I'm trying to fish one out here. Let's get that off of there. So, yeah, I had a grand time filming with this, and I wanted to say a few things about that. So that video was super fun to make, and I wanted to avoid some of the copyright issues. So when you take a lot of clips from a franchise like John Wick, you can get into some trouble on YouTube because it'll come up on the production company's site. You don't want to steal people's material anyway. You have to do something. You have to transform it. So I transformed those clips, and the ones that I played straight, I kept them at like 6-7 seconds. So when I talk about tactical, I wanted to cut in John Wick talking about his suit with the tactical lining that makes it bulletproof. So I kind of wanted to make that association with the pen, that the pen is tactical. So I did that. And then one of the other things I did was there are some clips, and go watch it again, even if you've watched it, because I think this is really interesting. Watch what looks like coming attractions. I recut these really small scenes, and I put a soundtrack that sounds like John Wick underneath it, and then I added my own sound effects. And there's this one bit where John Wick is talking to the camera in the sort of coming attractions. It's not him, it's me. So when you hear him say something, it sounds like Keanu Reeves, because I did my best Keanu Reeves impression, and I used a really crummy microphone when I did it, so it sort of sounds distant, but it's actually me. And there's all these like punching sound effects and loading gun sound effects and all this stuff, and impacts and breaking glass and all this fun stuff. I did all that. So I'm getting really good, if you don't mind me saying. I know this sounds immodest, so forgive me, but I'm getting really good at using these kind of clips from movies and things, and then putting my own spin on them by swapping out the soundtrack for my own, for mixing sound effects and music to give the effect that you're watching the movie. I tried it with the Crow footage when I did the Crow pen, and I feel like I've perfected it with the Wick footage, and who knows where it'll go from here. I don't know. Maybe I'll never do it again. I don't know. It's funny with me. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy it. So, thanks for all the likes. I see the thumbs going up. I appreciate that. While I speak of the Crow pen, let's show that again, because that was a lot of fun. Not too many people watch this video. That happens sometimes. I get it. You guys, there's pens you like and pens you don't like. Come on, Ecamm. There you go. Ecamm hates to change scenes. I click there like 3 times before it changes. It hates me, Ecamm, as you know. So this is the Crow. And there are skulls and roses on here. It's a Benu pen with a Schmidt nib. It does not post unless you tape it on there. It writes brilliantly. These Schmidt nibs are very nice. Somewhat unimaginative, I guess, to throw a Schmidt nib on there, but what are you going to do? The pen itself is beautifully rendered. I love the distance between the background and the glossy bits of sort of polished obsidian. It looks inky. It looks interesting. It looks very gothic. So I went to the Mount Auburn Cemetery in Cambridge and I filmed with it because I felt like a cemetery was the perfect place to bring out this beauty of this pen. And Mount Auburn is a garden cemetery with Gothic fences and Gothic graves. It was meant to be interacted with. It's not the kind of cemetery that you just forget about. It's one that's meant for picnicking, for walking around, for visiting your departed, but also just enjoying the environment. That was a big movement in Victorian times. It was a bit more Gothic and macabre in those days. Here, the dead weren't too far dead. It was a bit more of memento mori. So I definitely spoke about that. Let me recognize Robin Pennell. Thank you, Robin. $4.99 super chat. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please put Doctor Strange in your videos. I mean, I certainly could. It just needs to fit in, you know? There's a bunch of stuff that I've been trying to get to fit in. I like to do those little cut-ins where I'm like, I didn't understand how good a pen it is. And then you have Indiana Jones saying, I understand its power now, or whatever. It's kind of fun to do that. Or should you be afraid of the QC of the Visconti Homo sapiens? And you get Jeff Goldblum from The Fly, you know, be afraid, be very afraid. Or actually someone saying that to him. I can't remember her name. I love that actress too. It's very charming. But anyway, there you have it. Looks like Obbs is a Memento Mori fan, right? I'd like to do more Memento Mori stuff on the channel. I've seen some prints of Memento Mori from the 17th century that looked really, really interesting that I think are going to make their way on the channel. Okay, let's do another pen. So early in the year, the 100 year of the Mont Blanc Meister Stook was celebrated. And I was fortunate enough to get this early, very, very early, from my friend at Stilograph Corsani in Rome. He sent this and allowed me to film with it. And then I released it on the day of the release, which was a lot of fun. So I got it up quickly on YouTube. And I really appreciated that. Boy, the nibbleness is so beautiful. Look at that. Shiny, shiny. Love it. Just so vividly beautiful. This is a gorgeous pen. I did clean it and kind of put it away, to be honest. This is one I bought more to own rather than to use, which is very, very rare for me. And I'll also say I had every intention of going to see him in Rome when I was in Rome. And foolishly, I left it for the last day and I got norovirus. And I ended up being confined to the room for the last day. Well, my family had a very pleasant day in Rome. So it's a shame that I didn't get to meet him this time because I know I will be back. But absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous fountain pen that just writes amazing. A little more narrow than my regular production model 149, but no less smooth. Just a lot of fun. Doesn't look like there's any ink in there at all right now, which is good because it's clean. You can see. I love the ink windows on these. They remind me of kaleidoscopes. But this provided a lot of inspiration to me. It's in perfect shape. I haven't done anything to it. It's been out of the house a few times just to film. Beautiful marbled cap, which is a lot of fun. And I guess some of the elements are polarizing to people, but not to me. I love it. I love the riff on the original 149. So very fun pen, very gorgeous, but it's going back in the safe because I am enjoying owning it rather than using. So I wanted to mention Scrivener because I just like these pens much more than I expected. Now, I grabbed the most obnoxious expression of it I could find, this one being the gold version. It is very 80s bling to me. I'm thinking that Tony Montana would probably use this fountain pen, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to write with. It's really a blast. It's a whole lot of gold-plated craziness too, which I really like. But their other models are much more tasteful. I have a black and gold. I have a red. Very lovely. But I wanted to grab this one. I always love the way it films. It has a bit of C-3PO energy about it. But, you know, Art Deco embellishments. And I'm pretty sure these are made in China. I don't know for certain. But they're designed, I believe, in the UK. And they're fun. They're fun to use. They're good workhorses. And they're just super fun to carry about with you. Nice textured grip. Unlike the Viper, this has a nice grip that you can hold on to. And just a really nice, polished, interesting fountain pen. So I give it very high marks because they're like $40. And it's really not bad for that price. Not bad at all. Not too shabby, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, Scrivener gave me this, so I want to make that abundantly clear. They gave me 3 of them, but so did Ellington, and Ellington didn't get the same level of praise from me. I was very disappointed with Ellington, but I rather liked Scrivener. Look at this thing. Look at it glisten. You know, all that glistens isn't gold, but this one is, but only plated. So it'll come off. I imagine it'll wear off eventually. Antoinita, is the balance good? It has very fine balance, in fact. You have to screw it on, and then it feels fine. It just sort of hangs on the back of your hand. I should fire up my scale. It's a bit weighty. It feels, I would say it's 35 grams, and I'm probably not the best judge of weight, but it's got some heft. But not awful. Not awful at all. A fine fountain pen, and if you're ever attacked by someone, you can blind them. You just shine it at their face. So, a defensive fountain pen. I want to introduce you to my little pen. Okay. I have another one for you. I think you'll enjoy this. I certainly did. This... Come on, Ecamm. Come along, Ecamm. Thank you. This is the Lami Safari. Well, AL. But it's a Safari, let's be honest. Let's not kid ourselves. It's a Safari in aluminium. One of my favorite substances for a fountain pen these days. I like the lightness. I like the luster. I think luster is a good term for this. It seems to glow internally, but it doesn't. It's just shiny and nice. And has a really nice feel, not too slippery. But I just feel the aluminium just elevates it to a higher level. And I am a huge fan of the Lami Safari, more so this year. For me, in many ways, the Lami Safari was the year, like the pen of the year almost for me. It sort of solidified my love. I made some fun videos on it, learned a lot with Gert Mueller. I bought the book on him, and I just love it. I just have been adoring this pen. And a lot of what annoyed me about it before just seemed to have melted away. I was never a fan of the grip, but the grip has always been sort of not an issue because I don't put my fingers there. I never have. I always kind of put them on the sides. And I'm very comfortable with that. And I really like the Lami Safari, and I really like this one in particular. I took a version of this to Washington, D.C. with me for the fountain pen show. I think it was the red one. And it was with my Lockbee field journal, and it's a very nice fountain pen for day to day, which I have a video about this. Tip Tabs asked, does it only take cartridges? No, it has a converter too. I believe it's the Z28 converter is the right one for these. This one, though, has a cartridge. Looks like it's just about empty. I will fill this up with a syringe, but the Z28 converter is a fine converter. I have it in my Vista, my Lami Vista, which is a naked Lami Safari. A Lami Safari without pants is the Vista. I guess you can see right through it. It's transparent. And I also have it in my Mango version. But this really motivating me, really inspiring me, very much a workhorse fountain pen for me. There will be videos on the best ones for that purpose coming up soon, very soon. Jeff Kern says Scrivener Racing Green with the Private Reserve Ebony Green is the Christmas case, in the Christmas case. I regret, Jeff, not getting the British Racing Green. I really do. That would have been a great color. I feel like I could have tied it in with other things, maybe British cars. I could have talked about the Triumph in British Racing Green, or a Jaguar. Could have had a lot of fun. I regret that. Another regret, well, at least a goal, I still want a Savannah Green Lami Safari and a Terracotta Red. I don't have one. And I would prefer it to be from the 80s. But those two colors, something I aspire toward, and I do not have. So hope one day I will. Speaking of which, there is one pen that's been haunting my dreams. Haunting my dreams. I really want it, and I don't have it. And I kind of want it for Christmas, but I'm not going to get any pens till the Wes Anderson pen arrives. And that is the Reflections of Paris Waterman Quran. I really want that thing. It's pretty. I love the cap. I love the tie-in with Paris. I could film something so pretty. Something Parisian and Waterman together in one video. Oh, I could have a blast with that. And it's beautiful. I really want to write with it. To me, it's just the epitome of elegance and sophistication. Paris Association, Waterman, which I adore. I just think Waterman is so underappreciated, underrated, underappreciated. So much pen for $200 in the regular Quran. This is about double. But probably at Christmas I could get it for less. But, boy, I really, really want that pen. Kate points out that they're expensive. They are. Yeah, they're a lot more than a regular Quran. I'm okay with that. I mean, it has the extra beauty on the cap. And I'm sure there will be Christmas sales. It's going to come up. Probably, I would pay for $350 for it. But I'm not going to, because I'm trying to be good. And as you know, as somebody who makes videos about fountain pens, they come in. They come. Companies send them, brands send them, friends send them. So I'm trying not to buy any myself, but I am beguiled by that fountain pen until I do this, what I'm about to do with you all. And those of you who watch regularly know what I'm about to do. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Waterman Edson. If you want to drown your sorrows on not buying the Waterman Quran, Reflection of Paris, simply pull out your Waterman Edson and realize that once you own this fountain pen, you could probably sell your entire collection and just have this and be completely satisfied. This fountain pen is extraordinary. Or as Han said in Enter the Dragon, extraordinary. I love how he says that. What's he say? Your fight with the guards was extraordinary. Love it. This pen is brilliant. You have a double barrel, incredibly lustrous sapphire barrel that just radiates light. It looks glowing around the edges. You have this incredible inlaid nib with this fun T that seems to lead up to it. Very, very mid-century. If someone told me this was from the 1960s, I would have believed them. And then, of course, this beautiful brushed gold cap, which is taking a little bit of hits. There's, I think, a couple marks on it now. No, that's just a smudge. For me, because I am using this pen, I probably should have kept it in the safe, but I can't. It's too much fun to write with. It's too reliable. It's too perfect and too beautiful. This is one of those fountain pens that comes in and changes everything you know or think you know about fountain pens, and suddenly you're telling everyone how they have to have this 26-year-old fountain pen and to forget about any other modern fountain pen, that it will pale in comparison. And there's truth to that, my friends. Even the clip is over-engineered. It has an overfill system in the nib. It writes under every circumstances. It writes at 30,000 feet in an airplane. It has these very elegant cap latches that really put the Lami 2000 to shame. They're unobtrusive, they're beautiful, they're just little pads of gold perfection with a nice satisfying click. Absolutely brilliant pen. I adore this fountain pen. But while I talk about lids, here's that Viper again. I'm having such a blast with this. Ah, it's so fun. Magnetic's fun, right? Ah, it's so great. You can do like... Ah, so fun. Anyway, Waterman Edson, you cannot go wrong. Pricey. These can be anywhere from... I'm trying to think what the least amount of money I've seen it for. Probably 6 on up to like 11, depending on condition and model. But wow, is it amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, Patrick Murphy. Thank you, Patrick Murphy. Super chat. 14. Love the Edson nib. Thank you very much. I agree. It is gorgeous. And thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Helps to keep the lights on. A little bit of Yuletide merriment with the super chat. Thank you. It's an amazing nib. So, okay. Onward. Well, speaking of amazing pens, would this night be complete if I didn't show the Montblanc Bohème with the Rouge Jewel Ruby Cabochon? I'm so silly tonight. So you screw this in. You guys have seen this a million times. And your nib comes out to play. And boy, does this play. This is an amazing nib. There's ink in here. Very good. It's a cartridge fountain pen, but it has this elegant small nib that matches the pen. I think this is a fantastic pocket or purse pen. Maybe you want to really cushion it if it's going in a pocket. But such a cool engineered pen. Here's how you get the cartridge out. It's just so much fun. So beautiful. And when I got this, it was a wreck. And I got this for a song. If I told you how much I paid for this, you wouldn't believe it. I honestly don't remember anymore, or I would tell you. But I believe it was somewhere around $375. So that is a killer deal. I bought it off of eBay, which I don't suggest you do, but it was from an antique shop. I think they were in Gloucester, Mass, through eBay. So I figured if it was fake, I could just drive up there and you know, speak very sternly to them. But what I did was I polished it up with Cape Cod cloth. And if you don't know Cape Cod cloth, it'll polish any gold to perfection if you want, but you have to be careful. If it's brushed, it'll make it shiny. So it's only for shiny gold and chrome. I mean, if you get a scratch on something like this is my Cartier tank, you could just shine it off with Cape Cod. It's that good. Those, if you want them, I have a link now in my descriptions that has my influencer page at Amazon, which I take great pains to curate so that there's not crummy sellers. But I have Cape Cod wipes there. I also have Polywatch. I used Polywatch on the resin to take it from being kind of destroyed to looking like it just came out of its packaging. Now, use that at your own risk. It's not intended to be used for fountain pens. It's intended to be used for resin, mineralite, what's it called? Hexalite watch crystals. But let me tell you, I've been using it. I see no ill effects after many, many months. But use at your own risk, okay? Alexandra loves this pen. Me too. It's so charming. Okay, so that definitely motivated me. You guys remember this one? The Conway Stewart, Indiana Jones, 58. The pen is mightier than the sword. This is an amazing fountain pen, not the least of which is that it came from Indiana Jones, but also, I don't know where this blue came from. Is it this one? I don't know. Maybe. I thought this one was empty. Not the least of which because of Indiana Jones, but also because it has perfect vintage proportions. And that's a lot of fun from a new production pen. I wonder if this has ink in it. We could squirt a tank commander. No, it's empty. I thought I put it away empty, but you never know. Anything? I don't think so. So, gorgeous fountain pen. Lots of fun. Perfect vintage proportion. Love Conway Stewart. I think this might be one of the best of the bunch. Highly recommend it. Here's another great fountain pen. This is the Pilot LS. The luxury silent. So the Vanishing Point upscale version. I always forget which way to turn this. There we go. It just puts itself away. So you just do that. Super fun, beautiful color, beautiful pen. I believe this one does have ink in it. No, it does not. I thought it did. Well, with the tiny converter that's in this, you never know. This one is very jeweled, which is a lot of fun. So I am a huge fan. Ooh, I need to recognize Suzanne Ardiff with a 1999 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it so much. Thanks for being you with hearts. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. Thank you. I really appreciate the kind words, guys. All your kind support has meant a lot. It was an interesting year. I mean, there were fantastic things and there were like some sad things behind the scenes. You know, some incredible friendships were made. Some people came, some people left. Some people did some horrible things, yet I endured. I endured, my friends, as I always do. This is the 147 in Bordeaux. You're probably tired of hearing me speak about this pen. There is ink in here because I am using it right now. If you want to know, like, your hand is not very good for a fountain pen. I mean, it's okay. It's kind of tickly for me. This one's super fun because it has this interesting ink sleigh. And I've been using the same cartridges and just filling them up with a syringe. But brilliant fountain pen. Fantastic for bringing to Italy, I found. Watch the video. Let's put it that way. I think you'll enjoy it. Here's a few more. This was a ridiculous purchase. I honestly thought this was a scam. I bought this off of eBay for $350. I believe it was $350. And I was like, it's got to be fake. And it's not. I don't know. It must have fallen off a truck somewhere. But as we used to say back in Philadelphia, but what a pen. Writes magnificently. It is bold. It is large. It is just gorgeous. And I don't know about you guys. I am so partial to the black and green stripes of Pelican fountain pens. When I think Pelican, I think of Pelican as an icon. This is the colorway I think of. And this is just a gorgeous fountain pen. I love it. And then the M800 version in bleu. Blue and black, which Brendan Schmidt of Atlas gave to me, one of my closest friends in the fountain pen community. I am really thankful for Brendan. He's a really lovely guy. I'm happy to have some really good friends in this community, not the least of which is Brendan. Brian Holzer from Esterbrook, another really good friend. This is the Funky Lake he gave me in Washington. Was it Washington he gave me this? Yes, Washington. Because I saw him again at the Commonwealth. That was very, very kind. He's a lovely guy. You know, some really great friends in this community. And it's part of what makes it fun for me is the connections. Brendan Schmidt, who is a great friend of the channel and a great personal friend. I'm looking forward to supporting him. Hopefully this year, I'm like 90% on going to the sidewalk sale at Atlas this year. Can't wait to meet him in person, but we talk all the time. Joost Appelboom's a really good friend as well. He, of course, gave me the Diplomat Viper because I asked him for it, which was very nice. I really appreciate that. He's fantastic. Tom Otto and I, very good friends. I don't talk to him as much as I'd like. He's a very busy guy, but when we connect, he's just fantastic. And Drew Brown and I are becoming quite good friends. He's another really lovely, expressive, interesting guy. You will see him on the channel in the coming year. And I hope to do his as well. Just a fantastic guy. So lots of interesting people. Of course, Alexandra of Alexandra Art Insanity, whose channel I will be on tomorrow. But I will not be doing all the talking. I will be one in an ensemble cast. I believe Carrie Bullet Journal will be there as well. Should be a lot of interesting people. So it's really been a heck of a year, not just in fountain pens, but for the channel. We've met a lot of new people. We've had a lot of support. The membership is growing very well, and there's beautiful people back there, and I appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you so much for all the love and support there. Some of you guys have been with me since my TikTok days back, well, I say a long time ago, but it was 4 years ago when I started all of this. So it's going fast. And Aquamarine is going to be there tomorrow too, with Alexandra. So the channel's been going very, very well. And there's a lot of interesting videos coming up, a lot of interesting inspiration. So I think you guys will enjoy it. Let me say hello to Leo. Hello, Leo, and welcome, my friend. Always a pleasure. Steve Ruckle, I probably should make that announcement too. In case you haven't heard, thank you, Steve, for reminding me. But Drew Brown is now president of Farney's Pen in DC. And I put up something on Instagram, but let me say now in front of everyone, congratulations, Drew. You earned it. You are the best, and that place is going to do very, very well under your guidance. I wish you success and happiness, and if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. So I'm sure he will do brilliantly. Brilliantly. Yep, Kate's been with me since the beginning. Kate would be with me in a bar fight. That's what I love about Kate. We've been together since the beginning. So very, very good stuff. Okay. Well, this week's video is the top 5 snob-proof fountain pens. I think you'll enjoy that one. And you'll get some videos straight through until I return sometime in the new year. It'll be very exciting. So I wish you all a very merry and happy Christmas. A lot of love with all your family. Hold them close. That's what's most important in this world. And I hope you all have beautiful Christmases. I hope all your fountain pen dreams come true. And I appreciate everything you do for me, for my family, and for this channel. I really appreciate it. So if you get around to it, leave me a Merry Christmas in the comments. It would just be nice. Make me smile as this replay stays up. So I appreciate it. So thank you all. It's time for me to take my leave, my long-awaited rest before we come back again for the next live show. So until then, I can promise you we will see each other again very soon, further up the road, so please do take care of yourself. Good night and Merry Christmas.